106.7 Lights FM.
106.7 Light FM. It is Cubby. Christine's on vacation. My co-host is very upset she's missing this. It feels like 1997 right now. 98 degrees is in the building. Yeah. And that's when I met you. It was 97, June of 97. A little song called Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Nick, how does it feel to be back?
It's
full circle, isn't it?
It is full circle. It's funny you mention that. Yeah, it's full circle, and ironically today our album Full Circle comes out. It's out today. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, man. But I think we feel so blessed to just still be on it.
15 million albums worldwide. I mean, it's unbelievable what you've accomplished since 1997. And tell us about the Full Circle. And this is a new songs and re-recorded songs, correct?
Yeah, it's a combination. So it's 5 and 5 re-recorded songs. So, like you mentioned, Invisible Man, Hardest Thing, I Do, Una Noche, and Because of You are the 5 that we decided to re-record.
And how'd you pick those 5?
We just kind of went with the ones that had the most success. We figured those are the ones that the people would want to hear the most. And those are also some of our favorites. Right. So we did those, and then we also have 5 brand new originals, that are coming out. We had Got You that already came out earlier in the year. We have Stranger Things that we just kind of surprise released the other day.
And that is, by the way, the Stranger Things theme I hear, right? Like
no, it's
a
close.
nod.
It's a nod. Yeah,
okay, Jeff,
yeah.
what was that?
It's a nod to the Stranger Things.
So it's not a sample, but it kind of brings you there.
It's not a sample because look, actually, what they did is they sampled some of the John Carpenter theme songs from all that stuff.
All right.
So it's sort of it's called an interpolation.
Right.
It's sort of interpretation.
What was that word?
Interpolation.
Interpolation.
So it's not a sample. It's not a replay.
Right.
It's kind of a nod, or it alludes to the sounds that are in there. And we love that song. We heard the first time we heard that, we were like, this song needs to go on our new record. We were just starting to think about the new record, and Johnny Wright, who's our manager now, he presented that to us, and we were like, man, this is really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about our colleague here, Astra, who works at our radio station down the hall, KTU, where I used to work before Z100, and I've worked at a million places. But how did you guys hook up with Astra? Because she's on one of the big hits you had. Nick, who wants to talk about this?
Yeah, Jeff. That was
was
Jeff's
Jeff's
doing.
idea?
Well, we've known her for years. I mean, she's been great to us. You guys all have over the years.
Yeah.
And I've known Astra forever. And actually, we were looking for someone to re-record the Latin interpretation of the talking part of Una Noche. We couldn't find anybody. And my wife, who's friends, now become friends with Astra. She's like, you should ask Astra. She's got a sexy voice. She's cool. She supports you guys. There's a good story there. So I asked her, and of course she said yes. And she sounds incredible.
No, she sounds great.
She killed it.
It sounds way better than my version of it.
Opone Loca.
Yes, exactly. Did you feel pressure, redoing these songs? I mean, because sometimes the originals are all you need.
Well, it was hard.
Yeah, our goal was to make them sound as closely as we could to the originals, and which is we found trickier than we thought, because our voices have changed, the way we sing has changed. Certainly, the way we sang on Invisible Man in 1996.
Yeah,
because
it was recorded in '96, right?
Right.
Yeah, June of '97.
That was literally the first song we recorded once we signed with Motown. We came here to New York, Hit Factory, and recorded that song, and it ended up being our first single. But yeah, so it was trickier to kind of try and match how those songs sounded back in the day now. Much more of a challenge than doing a new song.
Yeah, just instrumentations change, productions change. Just to get the same keyboard sounds that were available back in 1996, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
But
was there overthinking sometimes because you're so close to it?
Well, it was
Jeff?
important for us to preserve the way they originally sounded, because throughout the years we how many times have you been to a concert and then you want to go hear the hits, and then because the artist sings them all the time, they start flipping the melody and adding different runs and interpretations to the song. People don't like that. So we said, people like these songs the way they were for a reason. Let's try to preserve the integrity of the way they sounded, and we tried to achieve it. It was hard because we actually, on some of the stuff, the production nowadays, you have auto-tune, and we didn't have all that stuff in the beginning. We literally had to sing it a million times to get it right, and so some of the stuff is a little off and into, but that's kind of what gives those songs character, and we thought our fans would like it if we kept them the same.
So we sang out of tune on purpose on this.
Well, it's an excuse.
Always on purpose.
Going for character.
Right. To sing bad.
And in 25 years, you'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
Every 25 years, you'll have new equipment, new stuff. It'll be great.
We'll just AI it.
Yeah, it'll be some computer version of us doing that.
Hey Siri, get our re-record our songs.
Actually, you set my phone off. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. What's fan reaction been so far?
Incredible.
Justin?
I mean, we're so lucky to have the best fans in the entire universe. They continue to show up. I mean, somehow they still know where we're going to be, and it's been incredible. And I think our whole career has been about making memories and being the soundtrack to people's lives, and to just hear the stories and the impact that our music has had on people is truly a great thing.
But it goes without saying, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but it literally is only possible because the fans still come out and support and are there for us.
Nick
I mean,
Cliche.
That's Nick Cliche. I like that.
It works, right?
But yeah, but literally, if they don't show up and they don't support, then we don't get to still do what we love to do, which is which is sing together. So.
What's the craziest thing a fan has done to get your attention?
Morning radio. No, I think it pretty much, you can imagine it. It's probably pretty much happened. Yeah, there are the stories, that people kind of tie in with pop stars, and those stories happen. But, there's things like people write songs for us. They get license plates that say 98 degrees.
Tattoos. They got tattoos.
We once had a fan sing an entire original composition for us.
It was amazing.
In a conference room of a hotel in Wisconsin. Is that what?
And now with social media, they can have more access to you.
That's right.
Totally
It's not
different
just
ballgame.
writing a letter anymore. You got DMs.
I mean, it's
and
great.
all.
Yeah, you can respond to fans. You get that instant feedback from them, via social media, and we're able to interact with them. So that's changed the game, across the board.
Right.
But yeah, it's certainly different than it was in the early days
Yeah.
when you didn't have any of that.
Hey, Nick, you've been all over our TV screens, right? With
Sorry about that.
I know.
Well,
It
yeah.
sucks. Oh, my God.
So yeah, Love Is Blind. Also, season 5 winner of The Masked Singer. You were, let me see here, Piglet. That's right, you're a Piglet.
And he still is.
Yeah.
That was my finest hour.
What was that experience
Dressed
like?
as it was awesome because it was shot during COVID, so we weren't able to tour, we weren't able to sing, and it was kind of a release to be able to perform on a stage and sing. Definitely challenging to sing with all that stuff on and overheating
And also, you had to be careful walking in each day, right? Not to be
well,
spotted.
you're in full visors and
Really?
sweatshirts, and so yeah, I didn't know.
Like, they're not playing it around.
I didn't know who else was on the season. That became kind of a little bit of a guessing game. It's like, who am I competing against? And
Right.
all I knew is every time I'd show up on set, it just reeked of weed. So I thought maybe Snoop's on this season, but it ended up being Wiz Khalifa. So
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
All right.
but it was a lot of fun, and my kids that was their thrill.
Yeah.
They've never been as happy to see or hear Dad sing as when I was a pig. So
That's great.
I get that.
And Drew, you know a thing or two about winning. Season 2 winner of Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, 19 years ago.
Oh, wow, that's unbelievable. But more recently, you hosted Date My House.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about this.
So I've kind of expanded, my skill set. I do home renovations, a lot of stuff around the house, and so it's become this thing where like all my friends will call me up. And actually on Date My House, I went to Justin's house and we tackled a couple projects together. So so I have this whole thing about you can drew it yourself.
How do you do, Jay?
Wow.
He did good. He did good. I mean, quite frankly, we needed all the help we can get. And so,
I still owe him a return trip to
That's
figure
true.
out some of the things we didn't
I
get
still have
done
a pool
during
I
the-
want him to
during-
look at, so
during the
got
taping
nothing
of the
but
show.
compliments right now.
Drew's a typically unreliable contractor. hasn't been back to finish the job.
I just let my butt crack hang out.
Charge you
working
double?
under the sink.
Is it hard getting permits and stuff like that?
Well, it depends on the project. You don't have to
Okay.
get permits for a lot of the stuff we do. We're not taking down walls or doing stuff like
Okay.
that for the show.
Nothing's to code.
Well, everything's to code. Everything's to code. Like I started taking apart a light in Justin's house. I was like, dude, this isn't. If I take this apart, this is a bigger project than what we're
It's
gonna
an
do
old-
for this TV show.
That's a very old house.
Yeah, it's a historical house. So I was like, we're not going to tackle this right now. So, everything is to code.
Drew operates with his own code. There's the Drew code that
It's the road code. So we're having fun with that too, and so the TV projects, the do-it-yourself stuff, that's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, you're helping a lot of people. You actually helped producer Kristen's friend. I'm going to put you on the spot, producer Kristen. Can you come over here for a second? Come on, I know you didn't want to do this, but no. But what did you do for a friend, or they did for a friend of yours? Yeah.
So actually, Astra helped too. My friend Mike proposed to his girlfriend, who is an absolute huge fan of you guys. They are married now. They have a child. But you had him on stage, and he proposed while you guys were singing.
nice.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's our fault?
Like, how many times does that happen?
We
like,
love
someone's
that.
proposed on stage.
It happens more often than you might think. Yeah, people, and sometimes we know about it. Sometimes we don't. We'll just be on stage performing, and you look down, and some guy
And they're on their knee.
in
Yeah.
the front row is
With the ring
proposing
and the whole thing.
Right.
It's really cool. But I think that's the most gratifying part of doing what we do is. And I think someone
Babies
said it
have been
earlier.
made
I mean,
during your music.
We always say if our music works for you, fantastic. If it doesn't, don't tell us about it because it hurts our. But if it sets the mood, but it's a part of people's lives. It's a part of people's. The most special day in your life is probably your wedding day or the day your kids are born. And for us and our music to be a part of those those moments, that's like the ultimate honor. So that's it's really cool to hear those stories and see those things happen.
Well, again, 98 Degrees is here. The album Full Circle is out as we speak. Get it anywhere, right?
Anywhere.
Anywhere. And tell me about what's going on tomorrow, Saturday. You're going to meet some people, I believe.
Yeah. We have we're actually doing an album signing at Barnes and Noble here in the city. So it's exciting to that's kind of a nod back to the old days when you went to the record store and you we do autograph signings in the record store.
Yeah, it was
a lot of fun.
I think everybody misses that stuff, and it's not just our generation. I mean, you see like the Gen Zs and millennials; they're kind of missing that experience. I mean, you have the streaming stuff, you have radio, but you don't have those experiences like you used to. So this one, I mean, it's sold out in a matter of minutes because people are kind of craving that, and it's not just like I said, our age range. It's a lot of the younger people looking for those experiences that their parents had and their grandparents had, and that we grew up with. So it's exciting for us.
Yeah, lining up outside of Tower Records at midnight the night, waiting for the new release. I mean, there was something romantic about that.
Well, you couldn't hear it until then, too.
Right.
You had to get it at 12:01 and put it in the CD player.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know. Bring those days back. Damn it.
Well, just having
like
the
a bunch of
physical.
old curmudgeons.
I know.
over
You're
there.
right. I know.
But just
Back
having
in
a
my
physical
day.
product, with lots of pictures, it was a lot. We were a lot more invested back in the old days, and it's cool to see things come back to that.
Actually, let me get your reaction to this. Where's that album? Show me that album. I don't know if this will make the interview. I can edit your reaction to this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping you guys would sign
That's
it.
that's the Una Noche remixes album
Wow.
vinyl. I don't even know if do we.
I
don't have that.
Yeah, we don't even have
How
that.
much?
$40.
How much for that? 40?
It's from 2000.
Those are baby faces right
Wow.
there.
Wow, I know.
Man,
Come on, Drew. You look
Brown.
exactly the same.
man, that is
I
crazy.
don't
are
think we
those
took too many
guys?
pictures in brown.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to eBay and search 98 Degrees and see what people are selling from you?
I don't think so.
Underwear.
No, but
We're too demoralized by how little it's going for.
12 cents.
What do you mean? 5 cents?
All right.
Make it 10.
Nick, Drew, Jeff, Justin, 98 Degrees. Get the new album Full Circle. Thank you for stopping
Thanks,
by.
guys.
Thanks,
We
buddy.
appreciate you.
Great to see you.
106.7 Lights FM.